One of my students asked me recently if I knew the origin of the expression brass neck. He had asked his grandfather for money to pay for a car repair. "I gave you money for your road tax last week," he replied. "Sorry, Grandad, I had a small bump in the car." "You have some brass neck," he said. "What does that mean, Grandad?" "Go find out," came the reply. The background to this old expression might interest you or people who just want to improve their spoken English. Imagine someone speaking English as a second language, impressing their friends with an expression like this. This expression has a British background. To have a brass neck, or in some regions in the UK also a hard neck, is to possess a breathtaking level of audacity or nerve. It describes someone who acts shamelessly or makes outrageous demands without a hint of embarrassment. The expression has a long and layered history, evolving from literal descriptions of materials to a metaphorical shorthand for social effrontery. The term brass neck is rooted in the physical properties of the metal brass, an alloy of copper and zinc known for its hardness, durability, and distinctive yellow shine. Long before it was attached to the word neck, brass was used in English as a metaphor for insensibility or shamelessness. If someone was brazen from the Old English, meaning made of brass, they were thought to have a face or heart that was impenetrable to the heat of a blush or embarrassment. To have a neck made of brass suggested a person whose head would not bow in shame. The phrase evolved significantly through the 19th and early 20th centuries, moving from a description of physical toughness to a description of social irritation or nerve. Over time, during the late 19th century and World War I, high-ranking officers were often referred to as the brass or brass hats, due to the gold-coloured embroidery on their caps. These figures were often perceived by the lower rank and file as confident and remarkably bold in their demands and orders, which likely strengthened the association between brass and audacity or fearlessness of behaviour. The variation hard neck is particularly common in Scotland and Ireland. It parallels the idea of a stiff neck. Meaning stubborn or rebellious, it evolved into a more colloquial term for someone who is simply hard enough to withstand social disapproval. The development of the term brass neck likely benefited from the existing 18th century phrase bold as brass. Why did the expression stick? The expression became common in society primarily through its use in British and Irish working-class dialects. It filled a specific linguistic gap. It wasn't just about being brave, it was also about the audacity of the underdog or the blissful, naive shamelessness of youth. It became a term often used between colleagues, friends, or family members to make a firm point without too much malice, but that would be heard and remembered. I am sure that my student's grandfather was happy to help out his grandson in paying for his car repair, but in so doing wanted to make the point that Grandad wasn't made of money, and that he might think of visiting more than one family bank while he is at college.